What is going on, guys? I'm coming to y'all with my very first Tiny Leaders deck tech. Now, please don't judge this deck too harshly. I literally just kind of put it together with whatever I had laying around and whatever I could quickly just trade off of a few of my friends. So it's probably a very bad deck, but it's my first attempt at actually building a deck for the Tiny Leaders format. And I haven't actually played it all with the deck yet. I did kind of just, like I said, quickly build a main board, quickly build a sideboard, slap it together, and call it a deck. So, without further ado, let's go through. Obviously, I'm using Shu Yu in the Silent Tempest. He is a 3/2 for 3 with prowess. That whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we may pay 2 Boros Hybrid mana to give a creature double strike until end of turn. Very, very strong commander, especially in a format with converted mana cost only 3 or less. At least I think it will be. Like I said, I have got no play on the card yet, or on the deck yet. Anyways, here's my land base, running 1 Mystic Monastery, just because it gives us whatever we need. I'm running Celestial Colonnade only because I couldn't get an additional Hallowed Fountain. Whenever I do, this will be coming out. Then I have Steam Vents and Sacred Foundry. Only 1 fetch of the deck, Flooded Strand. It gets whatever I need when I need it, so I really don't need to run more than 1 fetch land. It can grab my Steam Vents and it can grab my Sacred Foundry. Then I believe I'm running, I think it's 7, it could be 8 mountains in the deck. And it does look to be 8 mountains, using nothing but that beautiful monastery artwork, trying to keep the kind of Jeskai theme. 8 basic mountains, 3 basic islands, and then a singleton basic plains. I actually went on Tapped Out and got this mana base as close to perfection as it can be. Okay, now we go into the creatures. This is the starting with the creatures that kind of give us the most value when we cast spells. Obviously, we're running Gutter Snipe because this is a burn-heavy deck. Let's see if I can lower the camera just a little bit. Shocking your opponent every time we play an instant or sorcery is just great. Have to run it. Dual Caster Mage and Snapcaster Mage because getting double use of our spells is absolutely invaluable. Soulfire Grandmaster because we are in Burn and it is super amazing. And Young Pyromancer because we're casting a lot of instants and sorceries. And again, who doesn't love token production? I wish I had a Monastery Mentor to put in here. I've owned 3 of them by now, and I keep trading them off, so I need to acquire another copy of that to put in here. Into kind of our beatstick value creatures, we have Boros Reckoner, 3/3 for 3 Boros Hybrid mana. Whenever it's dealt damage, it does that much damage to target creature or player, and we could pay a Boros Hybrid mana to give it first strike. Absolutely amazing card, and I think it'll do very well in the format. Chandra's Phoenix because we're running a lot of burn, 2/2 flying haste. I don't think there's going to be a lot of flyers in the format, in the meta, so this could potentially be a very, very powerful card. True Name Nemesis because in a format as limited as Tiny Leaders, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but with such few options, I think True Name is just going to be extremely overpowered. A 3/1 with protection from your opponent, insane, too strong, had to include. Nivik Cyclops because, well, it's a 1/4 for 3 defender that when we cast an instant or sorcery, it pumps +3 until end of turn and loses defender till end of turn. I literally kind of, whenever I built this deck, I kind of went through my Nivik Cyclops combo deck and Pauper and kind of just dissected it and made this with it. So a lot of the cards are the same, but I think Nivik Cyclops is very strong. Kiln Fiend because in some ways it could be a better version of Cyclops, some ways it's worse. I love the Kiln Fiend. It's probably my favorite card in the deck. Delver of Secrets because a 3/2 flying on turn 2 seems to be very, very, very strong. Dragonbell Monk, 2/2 prowess vigilance for 3. Honestly, I need to replace this with Seeker of the Way, but I've got all my copies of Seeker of the Ways tied up in my my red-white heroic and standard, my blue-white heroic and standard, and my girlfriend's Tiny Leader deck with Annex and Samedi that she put together. I might show that off sometime as well. But Dragonbell Monk does the job just fine, and sometimes the Vigilance is just too good to even want to replace him, but eventually he will come out for a Seeker of the Way. Jeskai Elder, a 1/2 for 2 with prowess, that whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we may draw a card, and if we do, discard a card. I really like the Jeskai Elder. I think it's very strong in this format. Monastery Swiftspear, because, 1/2 haste for 1 with prowess, super strong. Just Guide Charm, because the versatility is real. We can either put a creature on top of its owner's library, burn for 4, or give our creatures +1/+1 and lifelink till end of turn. Either way, we're going to trigger our prowess and get some super value out of it. Lightning Helix, because with Soulfire Grandmaster, this is ridiculous. Deal 3 and gain 6. It is insane, and heaven forbid if you have something like Gutter Snipe in play. It's more or less, I'm going to deal 5 to 2 to you, 3 to your creature, and I'm going to gain 6 life. Trigger all these prowess abilities and then beat into your face. Electrolyze, because dealing 2 damage as we'd have choose among any number of target creatures or players, and then drawing a card is extremely strong. Boros Charm, because 4 damage for 2, or making our permanents indestructible for 2, or giving a creature double strike for 2 is just too strong. Azurius Charm, because giving our creatures lifelink, drawing a card, or putting a creature on top of its owner's library for 2 is, again, very, very strong. Wild Slash, because it's better than Shock. Tarfire, because I don't have a Shock. I'm not kidding, I'm literally using this because I don't have a Shock. Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt. Blazing Salvo, because either 3 damage to a creature or 5 damage to a player for a single red is strong as all get out. Lightning Strike, because it's the closest we can get to a second Lightning Bolt, and I don't have any Rift Bolts or what's the other card? Lava Spike, I think it's called. Again, this is just kind of put together with whatever I had. Incinerate, because 3 damage to a creature or player, and if we kill a creature with it, it's exiled. Magma Jet, because it's a shock with Scry 2 attached to it. And then for our last 2 cards, we have 2 combat trick cards, Titan Strength and Teamer Battle Rage. Titan Strength giving +3/+1 and Scry 1 for a single red is extremely powerful. And Teamer Battle Rage I immediately fell in love with. I run it in my Red-White Heroic deck, and it's actually my girlfriend's Red-White Heroic now because I gave it to her. For 2 mana, give a creature double strike, and if you control the creature with power 4 or greater, that creature also gains trample till end of turn. Super, super, super strong. So yeah, that is my Tiny Leaders deck for Shu Yun. There will be several upgrades made to it throughout time. I'll probably do some updated videos of it so you guys can kind of see how it came along. And before I forget, let's go ahead and show off the sideboard real quick. Stifle, because activated abilities are a thing. Dispel, because in a format with this many, with this few options, 3 or less converted mana cost, I'm sure instants can be a major pain. Hydroblast and Red Elemental Blast. I'd run a Pyroblast if I had it, but these are just kind of in here to deal with problematic decks, either red or blue. Electrickery and Mizzium Mortars can both serve as either spot removal or board wipe on our opponent's side of the field, depending on what they're running. I can definitely see a lot of token decks coming up, so in that case, Electrickery could be great. And if we're playing against a kind of slower deck, Mizzium Mortar should take care of just about anything in a format with only 3 or less mana cost, dealing 4 to every creature we don't control for 6. Swords to Plowshares is in here if we just find that we need some removal. Sword of Light and Shadow, just because I kind of had it and I wanted to play it somewhere, and I think it could be relatively decent against black-white decks, or any decks that happen to run black and or white. Gaining 3 life is not bad, and returning a creature from a graveyard to our hand is definitely not bad. Swiftfoot Boots, in case there's any decks out there that run heavy spot removal. And Tormod's Crypt, in case there's any decks out there that run a lot of graveyard strategy. So yeah, that is my Shu Yun, the Silent Tempest Tiny Leaders deck. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys would recommend I use to upgrade it with. And again, please don't be too harsh. I just kind of made it out of, like I said, scrap cardboard. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it a little bit and seeing what this format is all about. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. I can't believe I almost forgot I was actually sitting on a few cards that are also in the deck. Ponder, Brainstorm, and Gataxian Probe, all for card advantage. And then Remand as a counter spell. Yeah, I can't believe that I actually forgot those cards, and there's no way I'm redoing this video, so I'll probably just tack this on at the end there. But those are the 4 cards that I was missing in the main board, for those of you who counted and realized, hey, that's not 50 cards. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time.